I'm going to share too the protocol that we have developed to support schools as they install screening as regular school practice and move forward with screening on a continuing basis. So the first one is the CI3T Behavior Screening Protocol, and this is developed, the one I'm showing you was developed specifically for one school district. So we have some general examples on our website that you can tailor to meet the needs of your district or school. So at the top of the protocol, you'll see that it says preparation for installing screening practices district-wide. And this gives you some decision-making points that you'll need to resolve with your district leadership team. And then it serves as a checklist. So as these things are completed, you can check them off that they're done, and then have a record for showing that you're ready to begin screening. So first, you want to make sure that you're thinking about your screening time points 3 times per year as part of your preparation and referring back to that assessment schedule that's part of your CI3T primary plan. You're going to be focusing these decisions based on the people who are going to support screening. So we talked about those 2 people at the school level and also a district level or a school level point person in terms of technology. And so this is really just a checklist for guiding them through those recommendations. Again, it's essential that you prepare a statement and some information to share with your parent community. This is information about their student that you want to make sure that they're aware of, and especially aware of how you're going to be using it in order to support students and provide early intervention for them. So the screening protocol has the window, and this is a sample from the 2014-15 school year, for a time for principals to review the files when they're prepared to make sure that they're complete and accurate. A screening window, so an opening date and a closing date for when screening tools will be available on that those district files, and then the date of the first screening, and that's really for your technical assistance support team and your technology support team in your district, the last date that something is scheduled, and then a hard close. And the reason that you have the window is because it may be that the school in the fall screening on September 16th, maybe they have 3 teachers who are absent for whatever reason. It gives them another week or so to be able to complete that screening. You want to make sure that every student in your building is screened at every time point as long as they've been there for at least 30 days. So as we move down the protocol, again, it's a checklist for the fall time point first, and it tells you about each little detail for preparing for screening. It gives you timelines in terms of preparing those tools up to 30 days in advance because all of the students that you want to be screening again need to be there for that 30 days prior. We also have, as part of a research protocol, student demographic information so that we can describe the sample of students that are being screened. And that may be something that you want to include as you prepare reports for your school board or your district leadership teams, or look for specific answers to questions at your school site. As you move down the screening protocol, it gives you information for winter screening, how to prepare, what to think of in terms of timelines, and then also at the end of that you'll see that there's information specifically for making sure that you're using this data around team level meetings to make decisions for students and how to best support them. And then again, you'll see that information repeated at the spring time point, and there are some slight differences at each time point in the recommendations for using the data. At fall and at winter, you're thinking about interventions for the current year, and in the spring, you're thinking about groupings for next year. You're thinking about starting supports from the very first day of school for some students, and you're also thinking about maybe some summer programs that students might be able to access to be able to continue to develop skills over the summertime. So that is one tool for your district and your school site to utilize in terms of preparing to implement screening.